What's up, Milwaukee Brewers fans? Tyler from Skull Fanatics. So I'm doing my first Brewers play breakdowns of the year. If there's anything that you would see during a game that you would be interested in having us talk about to break down as far as plays go for baseball games, let us know. I'm going to start with Brice Turang and Blake Perkins in the top of the third inning, starting with Brice Turang. So he pulls back a bunt attempt. Now, normally I'm very anti-bunt, except in a situation where guys are bunting for hits, which it is what it looks like Brice Turang is trying to do here. So gets a 2-1 count, checks the swing, could have been a 3-1 count. Fouls off a pitch. Now, I'm going to have a graphic here in a second that's a pitch that Brice Turang may not have fouled off last year. And then he gets one in the zone that he's able to pull for a double. Great at bat by Brice Turang. Now this is where I'm at with Brice Turang. So I mentioned that 94 mile an hour pitch that he fouled off a little above the zone. 2023 to 2024, Brice Turang is chasing fewer pitches, almost 4% fewer. And then the biggest thing is he's making more contact. So last night, Vinny Rottino mentioned that he's not swinging so much, up, that his bat path is staying more flat. And that is allowing him to make 18% more contact on pitches that are outside of the zone that he's chasing, or in this case, being something like fouling pitches off. That's going to bring his strikeout numbers down. So it's definitely going to be something I'm going to keep an eye on. But overall, his plate discipline is much improved. Very good to see that from Brice Turang. And then the very next batter is Blake Perkins. Swings at a good pitch. It's a good pitch to swing at. Takes inside. It's a good take. That's a tough pitch. That's a really good pitch. Tip your cap to Frankie Montas on that one. Takes high. Good take. So he got down 1-2. Fouled off a tough pitch right at the top of the zone. Takes high. Almost the same pitch. So he went from 1-2, worked back to 3-2. And then this is fantastic from Blake Perkins. Just keeps his hands in. That is such an underrated thing to do, to keep your hands in on a pitch like that and to just put it in play. So watch how he keeps his hands really close to his body. See how his front arm is almost tucked in to his body? That's great work from Blake Perkins. And it gives the Brewers a 2-0 lead. Now this is again Blake Perkins in the 6th inning, and Sal Frelick got on with a leadoff single. Takes a bad pitch. It's a wild pitch. Gets Sal Frelick into scoring position. It's a good pitch. Now Blake Perkins again in a 1-2 count, not necessarily putting himself in the greatest positions, but on a 1-2 count, a pitch right at the bottom of the zone, just putting the ball in play. And this one is almost the opposite. This one, he extends and just puts the ball in play. So last night was just a really, really great job by Blake Perkins at the plate. Okay, and then going back from the 6th inning to the bottom of the 4th inning, just on the other side of the ball, this is Joe Ross in the bottom of the 4th. So the bottom of the 4th, the wheels were coming off a little bit, not fully off, but in the bottom of the 4th, the Reds went single, ground out that advanced a runner, single that made the game 3-1, and then a double, which gave the Reds the current situation here with runners on second and third and only one out. And this is how Joe Ross responded. That's a nasty slider. Nothing you can do with that. Gets ahead 0-2. Now, Joe Ross threw a lot of really good sliders last night. Threw a couple out of the zone trying to get Spencer Steer to chase. But to his credit, Spencer Steer is a good batter. Works back to 3-2. That's a really good pitch to foul off. But here, pay attention to that. So I'm going to go back just a couple seconds here. Pay attention to where this pitch is, that this is fouled off. So this is 95, about 4 inches off the inside corner. Now pay attention to where this next pitch goes, because this sets it up perfectly. That is fantastic pitch sequencing. from Joe Ross to go from that 95-mile-an-hour inside pitch to an 87-mile-an-hour pitch that's about 2 inches off the outside corner. That's fantastic pitch sequencing by Joe Ross, especially in a situation with 2 runners in scoring position and the tying run on second base being Elly De La Cruz, one of the fastest players in baseball. So this is the next batter, still 2 runners in scoring position. Throws another really good slider right at the bottom of the zone. Another really good slider a little bit under the zone. Gets ahead 0-2 again. Throws basically the same pitch. See if he could get him to swing again. And then 94 on the inside corner is nasty. And it lines up right with the inside corner of the plate. That is beautiful sequencing by Joe Ross, doing essentially the opposite of what he just did to Spencer Steer by going inside heat and then low outside slider. He went low outside slider to Martini and then inside heat painted right on the inside corner to get 2 strikeouts with 2 runners. The tying runs on second and third with only 1 out and respond with 2 strikeouts was great stuff by Joe Ross last night. And the Brewers picked up the win.